Hi everyone, this is Satyajit. Welcome to my channel CloudJourney with Satyajit. In last video, we discussed about how to access our private EC2 instance who's having internet access with the help of SSM. So now we are going to discuss about how to access those EC2 instances who doesn't have internet access, but still we want to access them via SSM. So what are the steps required for that? So for that, we need to install the SSM agent, okay? And also we need to attach the IAM role. Along with that, we need to create endpoints, okay? So generally endpoint means it's a private link. We need to, so it is internally connectivity, okay? So we need to create a private link. So we will discuss more into endpoint and what are the endpoints and what is the difference between interface endpoints and gateway endpoints in next videos. But in these videos, we will discuss about how to create one EC2 instance in private subnet, okay, who doesn't have any internet access, but still we can access them using the SSM. Okay, so for that we need to create interface, three endpoints. One is SSM interface, one is EC2 message interface, and one is SSM message interface. Okay, let's jump into the practical and we will verify it. So I have two EC2 instance. One is a jump server, okay, because app server is private. If I try to connect now, if the app server, I just try to connect it and session manager, because there is no SSM manager installed and there is no SSM agent, so I cannot do that. Okay, so to do it, now I have to log into that EC2 instance and install the agent. Okay, before that I need to create a role. Okay, IAM role. Okay, so I have already created the IAM role in the previous videos, right? So I can use that role, but you can, if you want to create a new role, you can create it. So just you get to create a role for EC2 and you need to attach the policy Amazon SSM manage instance core. You need to create a role. Now we need to attach that role to that EC2 instance. So you need to select that app server and go to the actions, go to the security and attach the new role. Okay, so once you attach the role, now we need to log in to this app server. Before to that, because this is private, so we cannot access to the private EC2 instance. If you see, if you go to the private EC2 instance, go to the networking and go to the particular subnet, there will be no internet. Okay, if you see the route table, there is NAT is there because I already deleted. If you see, there will be a black hole. Okay, let me go to this route table and see the routes. There is a black hole. It means NAT is already there, but I deleted. Okay, so now I need to remove it. Okay, save changes. So now there is no NAT. Okay, it means it is a fully private and it doesn't have any internet access. You can verify. You can go to the subnet and select it, go to the route table, and there is no route. Okay, so now I need to log into that EC2 instance and try to install SSM agent. Okay, so but the problem is I cannot install SSM agent now because without help of internet I cannot install the SSM agent because it's required to when pull it. But let me try it because that is the RPM file, but still it cannot be do that. But let me see it. Okay, so to proceed with that, you need to log in to that EC2 instance, the jump server. So I have already kept my IP private keys. Okay, so private key already there, so I am able to log into the EC2 instance. If you see here also private key I copied. Now I need to log in to this private EC2 instance app server. Okay, so now I get the private IP and I will use this command to log into this private EC2 instance. So now I am able to connect to this private. If I do ping google.com now, it won't work. Okay, because there is no internet access. If there is no internet access, I cannot download it. Okay, but still I can give it a try. So as it is Amazon Linux, you can go to this site. Okay, and you can copy this command because it's a 86-bit and 64-bit processor. You can just copy it because yum install required internet. If I put it also, let me paste it in the browser. Here, if I do it, still see now it is not picking that, it is not going because there is no internet. So to proceed with that, first we need to create an internet. Then we can, I'll just pause this video because I will backend, I will just install internet and install the agent, then I will show you. Yeah, so I just created an ad gateway. Okay, I just created an ad gateway and attach it. Okay, attach it to the EC2 instance. If you see the networking and go to the particular subnet, and if you see the route table, there is a NAT gateway attached. So I'm able to access the internet now. If I do ping google.com, it should work for me. Okay, so now I'm able to access the internet. So now what I will do, I will install that agent, SSM agent. Okay, this is the command for that. So it will install the SSM agent, and post that I will detach the NAT gateway. Okay, I will detach the NAT gateway so that it will be remain in private. There will be no internet access. Okay, so let's wait for some more time to check it that when that package will be properly installed. We can verify the command to start it. Okay, so we'll use this command, and let us wait for some more time when these installations will complete. So once that is complete and once we are able to SSM, so we are role is ready and we are installed. So see now it is installations now complete, the SSM agent installation. Okay, so now see the status. Oh, sorry. Okay, so you can see now it is active and running. So now we are good. If you see the accessing the private EC2 instance as both the conditions now satisfied. So if you go to the app server and connect and go to the sessions manager, I can able to connect easily because my instance role is attached, and that is fine. Up to now it is clear. Okay, so now what I will do, I will remove the NAT gateway. Okay, so to do that, I'll just go to the NAT gateway, and which is available now. I will delete it. Okay, so I deleted the NAT gateway, and there is in the route table I need to detach this rule. So you edit the routes, now remove it, and now save changes. So now if I will you hit ping google.com, it won't work. Okay, because I removed the, it will not work. Okay, so then I will try to access via connect to that using session manager. Okay, if I'll do also, it won't work. Okay, it will create this, go to this black screen, but I will not get the command prompt. Okay, if you see here, it is not working for me. Okay, so I will terminate the session. Okay, so now by that meantime the NAT gateway is going to delete. Let us concentrate about our documentations. So the first step and second step we have done. Now we need to create the interface. Okay, interface is just like it's a ENI, okay, elastic network interface, and it's an interface endpoint. Okay, now we need to create the interface endpoint. Okay, so this is the existing session, earlier session, that's the reason it was active. But now if I will do to connect it, it won't work. Okay, because NAT gateway is deleted, NAT gateway is not present. Okay, so it won't work now. So I am terminating the session. Now what I have to do, I have to create a interface endpoint. Okay, so now I need to create an endpoint, create endpoint. So this is, I will say that SSM endpoint. Okay, this is AWS service. So which endpoint? So I will type it SSM. So first of all, is it a SSM interface endpoint? Okay, so I need to select this one. Okay, and which VPC? It is in my VPC A. And which subnet? So it's here in, we have to specify the private subnet. Okay, because we want to make it private subnet. So it's saying for better availability select two subnet, but I am selecting only this subnet. Okay, before to that, just see on this subnet how many IP are there. Okay, so I will tell you what is this, why I'm saying that. You can, it is in you can go to the VPCs. Okay, and which subnet? AP South 1, a private subnet, right? If you see, the IP is there 250. Currently available IP is there 250. Just double check. Yeah. Currently I have 250. Okay, after creating interface endpoint, let us see how many IP will be there. So you can go to this and selected episode 1A, fine. Now it's saying security group. Okay, which security group? You can use default or you can create a new security group. Let me use default security group. Okay, on the default security group, the HTTPS port need to be open. Okay, I will do that. Let us create an endpoint. Okay, so one endpoint we have created, which is SSM endpoint. Let's go to the documentations. Once this SSM endpoints will be created, next we have to create EC2 endpoint. Okay, EC2 messages endpoint. Okay, you can go create another endpoint. Okay, let me do that. EC2 hyphen messages hyphen SSM, something you can give any name. EC2 messages, just type it. Okay, this one, select this one, and which VPC you need to specify your VPC A, and you need to specify your episode 1A and your private subnet one. That's it. And security group, as I'm selecting default, so I'm using default security group, and that's it. I'll create an endpoint. So now two endpoint is created. Now another one is there, SSM message endpoint, right? This is SSM messages endpoint. So I can create another endpoint and just write SSM messages something endpoint. You can give any name, then search for SSM messages. Okay, so this one selected. Now you can VPC A and your respective availability zone and the respective subnet. Okay, once you do that, and existing security default security group, you use it, and let's create the endpoint. So now we have created three endpoint, but what is the status of that all three endpoint? Okay, it should be running. Okay, so we have to check whether it is running or not. Both are available, but another one is still pending, and by that meantime we need to check the security group, whatever the security group we have added, right? So we added default security group. So let us go to the security group. Okay, on that default security group, what rules, inbound rules it is expecting the HTTPS. See, by default it is adding the HTTPS. It's not by default, I think I added earlier. So HTTPS port, it should be added for to the whole VPC CIDR range. Okay, so now we need to verify whether my all the interface endpoints are available or not. Okay, so let me check to the endpoint and let me check the status. Okay, all are in available state. Okay, so now if you see the documentations, we have installed SSM agent, we have created the attach the role, and we have created the interface endpoint. Okay, all three. Let us go now. It generally it takes some time, 5 to 10 minutes to reflect all the details. Let me see it. If it will not work, I will pause the video for some time and we will again verify when it is available. Okay, I have to select this and I have to connect and session manager, and I will try to connect it. Okay, let us wait for some more time. See, now it is working. I'm able to access it. Okay, still there is no internet. If you type it ping google.com, it is not going to work because there is no internet. It is accessing via this endpoint. Okay, so it is pretty simple, but it is very important. We need to understand three. And so once again, all the steps are, we need to install the SSM agent, okay, on that particular EC2 instance. Okay, and we need to install, we need to attach the role, and role should have the SSM managed instance core policy, and we need to create three interface endpoint. One is for SSM, one is for SSM messages, and one is for EC2 messages. So there is a AWS documentations for that. You can refer this document as well. This document, how do I create VPC endpoint? So here all the steps are given, and you should create the endpoint. One is for EC2 messages, one is for SSM messages, and here you need to create the interface endpoint for SSM. So three endpoint you need to create this one, SSM endpoint, three endpoint need to be created, that interface endpoint and the respective SSM agent and your instance role. Okay, once that is created, you can able to access the EC2 instance without internet. Okay, so Yeah. So earlier we discussed about if internet is available, how we can access it. And now we discussed if internet is not available, how we'll access it to the private EC2 instances. Okay. Please practice. And if you have any questions, please ping into that, please ping. So I will check the comments and I will respond. Okay. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you.